Good day, everyone. Today we have Vincent with us, and we'll be looking at chapter 12 of Python Crash Course, and we'll be looking at the game that we'll be creating. So this is how it looks like. It allows us to fire the aliens, but in case they touch us, then it's going to be a game over for us. Okay. In case the lives are also finished. So in this chapter, we just be looking at the ship that fires bullets, all in all. And in the next coming one, we'll be looking at the aliens and then the scores. But this right here is like the total output of how the game will look like all in all. Okay. So yeah. So the first thing is the project. This is the architecture. The goal is to build this game. It's a 2D. It's a 2D arcade game using Pygame. Pygame is a library that is built into that allows us to built into Python that allows us to create games. Okay. So the first phase is setting up the window. This is what we can see. This right here, whole thing is a window that customize a gray background. As you can see, it's got a gray background, and it adds the rocket ship, as we can see at the bottom of the window on our left side. Yeah, and it enables us to move left and right. So we can see as I click on it, so I try to move left, it's going left. If I move to the right, it's moving right as well. And we also have the file management because this project spans multiple files. All script must live in a dedicated alien invasion folder. So let's come here and look at our file system. So we can see over here, this the alien invasion folder, the one you can see that I'm pointing at. And everything here is inside that folder, in innovation folder. So number two, the core concept and code structure. The game is the game loops and events. So this is what we're doing over here. We're looking at some few of them. So what we have here, we created individual file. Yeah. And now this whole file is just for the bullets. And we see that they're gonna fly as we run the game. You can see when I click on the spacebar, you can see the bullets. So we have a file for that creates the functions for this. What we have here is like objects. The object that gets from the sprites. This sprite over here is also part of the Pygame. So we get it from that. That is a super class. So because we're getting it and we're using some of the properties, we have to use the super element over here to get access to those ones that are not here, but we're importing them. So we also have another file for this right here, which is the buttons. As you can see in the game, we do have button. After the live gets finished, you see there's a button that says play. You're gonna see it over there. And so that's what it's talking about. And we have a start game. So if you want to start the game, this is the functions that's gonna help us start the game, but it's being placed in the class. And we also have the scoreboard as well. So that's what is happening here in the class. This is the core concept. The while loop is true. While is true, the logic, okay. It's continuous looping game. Every circle checks the player inputs, update the object position, and then redraws it. So what we see here is like the game. We see that the game is moving, but what is happening actually is like we have different scenes. which are like individual um, slates. So it redraws every single thing and it creates an illusion of this individual aliens moving from left to right. But it's not like they're moving. Yeah, technically, they are not moving. It's just individual um, slates that are being um, shown within splits, milliseconds. That creates an illusion of the aliens moving. So basically, that's what is happening in here. But everything's been updated within milliseconds. So we have the events. So the events listeners, we listen to our keyboard inputs, the keyboard up, the keyboard down, and it also listens to keyboard left, keyboard right as well. Yeah. So we also have an option to quit game as well. When we close the window on top here, on the top right corner, you see the red X right there. That's also part of it. It helps us to close. Yeah. And we have the surface and rectangles. So basically everything here is being represented in the form of a rectangle. Yeah. Like our spaceship is being represented in the form of rectangle. All the aliens are also represented in rectangle. That is much easier than making them specific shape. Let's see over here. You see this our spaceship right here. It's a rectangle. But because the background is gray, it's able to blend nicely with our gray background. Yeah, but as time goes on, when we create more sophisticated games, we will make it 3D and we will have we trace the exact shape instead of just making a rectangle. And we also have alien shapes as well. They're also rectangle. Everything is just in the form of a rectangle. So that's what it's talking about over here. Every graphic Pygame is surface. Pygame treats the surfaces as rectangles. We have the rect. Yeah. This simplifies game map, makes position elements via mid bottom and detecting what do you call it, future collision, such that when you're playing the game and it collides, you see over here, it's collided and it's easy for the game to detect that because it's in a square module. But sometimes if in cases it takes the exact shape of it will just bypass it easily, and it wouldn't detect that it has touched. Yeah, but the square module also helps it make it easier, and it makes the code execute much faster. Okay, so that was it. And we have the screen refreshment. So the screen refreshes very quickly within milliseconds, and that's what makes it creates the illusion of things moving around. Otherwise, it's just individual pages that are being. See the Pygame render updates behind the scenes. So, so this right here, this whole function that is built into Pygame is what helps us. It acts as a page flip. You see, when you draw a lot of things and then you stack them together, and then you try to flip it, it looks like the characters are moving. So basically that's what's happening here in the game. So that's the page flip. It it hides old frames, um, artifacts, and swap the newly drawn into view for smooth animation. So basically that is what is happening over here. Let's replay. And we have the frame rate and color. So we are able to add colors to all of these things. And we have RGB, which is our red, green, blue system. And RGB starts from it starts from 0 and ends at 255. Yeah, of which 255 is the greatest, is the biggest number. So within the red starts from 0 and ends at 255. So such as even green also starts from 0 and then so we have three of them. This for the red, this for the green, and this for the blue. So the combination of these three is what give us specific colors. So in case you have 0 for this, for red, zero for green, and zero for blue. All in all, we're going to have white. Yeah, so that's the what we're going to have in the color combination. But if you have 255 for red, 255 for green, 255 for blue, what you're going to end up having is black because we're adding all those colors together. That's what is happening. And to have a gray, this is what we have. This color combination gives us a gray because it's much closer to, yeah, it's much closer to it gives us a light gray background. Yeah, so that's what is happening. And we have multi-file code difference. So we have the setting of P1. That's the file we have here. This one here. This entire file. Okay, so this is what it does. So we have the screen width. So this entire screen width, and this is in pixel, right? You can see it over here. 102 in pixel. And we also got the height of it, which is also 800. So when you open the game, you can see it's the whole window here is much wider than how tall it is. But in case you want to change it, we can change it in here, and then we'll see the effect in the game. Let's change it. Let's make it let's see. And you can see what happens. Let's run the code. So, sorry. So I want to be in this place. Mm, So I have to be in the correct directory. And then okay. So now you can see over here, everything looks so small and tiny because I've edited the height of the game. So let's take it back to the 800. Let's take it back. And now you can see that even the alien wasn't even appearing. So so now you can see how big it is. We can also choose to even make it way, 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 way wider. I mean, way, way taller. I mean, then we can increase the width and also increase the height. So this right here is the color of the background. The BG color refers to the background color. And that is inside the settings class. So now you see the background. Let's try to change the color here. Let's make it 000 and see what happens to the background. Let's see the color that we have. And let's run this code. Okay. The game is already running. Let's restart it again. Let's first go into the correct directory. Um, yeah. And now let's run. Um, okay. So now you can see. So when it's 000, that's pure black. Sorry. Initially I said it was going to be white, but this is pure black. And now you can see the square margin that it was talking about. Now everything here is in the square. Can you see that? Yeah. So if we should put that back in the so that the game can look much nicer. And if we also try 255, let's try 2.5 for each and every one. And rerun. let's reround the call to see. Okay, now we see everything is pure white, and you can now see the gray. Yeah. So in order to avoid all of this, it's nice to make it gray in the. Yeah. So this is how it should be. So let's take it back. So that's how it is. Such that the object's background blends nicely with the overall background. And we also have ship the PY, which a player assess the position. We have a player, the PY in here. I think that is embedded in here. Yeah, it's embedded in the. So we have ship the PY. Ship the PY. Let's ship the PY down here. So basically, the coordinate starts from the top left. The top left of the game is 0, 0. So on top here, top left is 0, 0. And as we move from any position else, those are going to have greater and higher coordinates. Yeah. So the x coordinate is to move left and right, and then the y coordinate is to move up and down. So that is what is happening here. And we have the alien invasion of PY in here. So that is the game itself. And now this game here is important from each and every single directory each and every forward file that we've created is important from those, and it's using all of that in here to create the nice game that we can see. So all in all, that's what is happening. And we have the key mechanism. So the player press the arrow down, and then it checks the condition, and then it runs it nicely, and it looks through all of that. So basically, that is what is happening. All in all, that is a game, that's what we created for. So you play, and then when the number of life is over, then the game ends. And just to play again, you click play, then that's it. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you Vincent for being here as well. So that
No
was
problem.
chapter 12.